There we go. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Rush Racing League Division number 4. I'll be your host tonight. My name is Kaus, and I'll be here giving you all the action here in our Division 4 division here at a fantastic track here at Imola. Emilia-Romagna is a phenomenal place to go and visit, and it's a great place to go and race too. There's been a lot of fantastic racing in real life and in Rush over the previous 3 divisions. This will be the final round of Division 4 that'll be closing out this round, and round number 5 here at Imola. So we're going to be awaiting to see who will be victorious here at the end of tonight. We've got some fantastic racing and some fantastic individuals that will be here to display their capabilities and abilities at racing these 2026 cars to the absolute maximum. So it's going to be a fantastic night tonight. I will be joined eventually by M. John R., who is a Division 1 driver who is shown to be a force in Division 1, and I'll have a chat with him during tonight. But before we kick off with the racing, with all the details, with all the fun stuff, with qualifying, first and foremost, I want to head over to our team of the week and have a chat with my good friend who is my team principal as well, who I have the pleasure of racing with this season. Dito, thank you very much for joining me at the comms box, mate, and congratulations on us on winning team of the week.
Hey man, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Just enjoying time, having a yarn with you, and kicking back. Look, I'll keep my interview face on, right? I'll ask you the questions, and I'll give you the information. I guess it's 2 team of the weeks. Williams is currently top of the overalls, heading into week 5. I would comfortably say that we've also had a decent week this week as well. Considering Division 3 previously in my performances, but we won't go there. What do you think has made this team earn 2 team of the weeks in the first 4 rounds here at Rush? What do you think has made us be such a force in this league?
Just hard work, man. That's all it really is. Just a lot of practice. I think it's a bit different to most seasons I've TP'd. I haven't had this sort of. I've got a lot of commitment from all of the guys, and I think everyone sort of can see that goal. It's there, and yeah, it's just it's I don't know, man. It's just every week we seem to be setting a new expectation, and yeah, I'm really liking it at the moment. I just think we're on a really good track. Obviously, it's a very long season, big battle at the moment with Ferrari and
Mm.
obviously other teams as well. But I think that's just motivating them more and more. And yeah, I think the boys are starting to sense that we have a team that can definitely do some damage this season. So
Yeah, have to agree. I think and I've said at the end of our race, your last night, how much of it is a privilege to race at Williams and to race under your tutelage. I'll just ask one more question. There's been some back and forth in terms of you know what some teams going to look like during silly season and all this sort of stuff, and we're starting to reach that point where we will have to have those discussions about driver trades. Do you think, as much as the most successful team at the moment in Rush has been Williams, do you think there are room for improvement? Are you looking for maybe some driver trades in some other divisions? Is that something that's on your mind?
uh, in a perfect world, no, mate. I'd love to keep everyone the same and sort of build on what we've got. Obviously, it's working in some degree. But I can't rule anything out. I think a lot of the teams will try and get drivers from us, obviously, but
Mm.
um, I just got to ride as it comes. I will have to obviously have a look at things and see how we go. But like my number one, like I picked the team for a reason. I do believe in everyone that I have here, so I do. I would love to keep it the same, and I'm sure no one really wants to leave. I could be wrong, but you know. I'm sure everyone wants to stay put. I just need to make those decisions and see what I can do. Or I wouldn't say we've hit anywhere near our full potential yet. I know that for a fact. So the fact that we can go further and score more points each week is probably more worrying to the other teams than me. But it's always good to have some sort of room of improvement. And if we were maxed out at this point in the season, I'd be a bit worried. So I just need to figure out what I want to do and what the team wants to do, and yeah, and try and get through silly season unscathed. It's a brutal part of the season. So yeah, would like to just move on and forget it, to be honest, and keep going. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, it's going to be one of those things where obviously the top team is going to have a lot of people in their DMs and a lot of TPs trying to maximize the situations in silly season. But we've still got a few more weeks before we start to think about that. I will say congratulations to you and to us. It's fantastic. To be team of the week for the second time, and let's hope we can do it again with another great result here, and maybe do it a third time around.
Yeah, mate, take it easy on comms, and yeah, appreciate obviously all your support with the team as well.
Appreciate it, Ditto. Thanks for your time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's head back to the action. Let's head over to the action here and let's have a look at these beautiful 2026 cars. As I mentioned, we will be getting M. John on, who will join us in a short few moments. So I just want to adjust the audio settings to make sure that we're all above board. We do have someone already atop the timing boards, and it is the Williams man in Jacuti G, who's currently setting the timings alight with a 16.1. We will have a look at all the other drivers in this division once we see and look at some of these times that they do. Apologies here, I just need to invite M. John into the lobby whenever he is online. He is beautiful, and I'll get him to jump on comms. All right. Let's introduce some of our drivers. Jacuti is in the Williams. He's been really, really fast in practice, I will say, as well. So, bit of a force there, and I hope he can continue his debut podium that he had last week and into the round tonight. Slippergoon has been a fantastic driver for the Cadillac outfit over the last few weeks, and he's definitely a strong driver and a strong contender to win this race tonight. So be sure to see him out here in Imola. Hot Cheetos will be reserving for the Alpine outfit tonight, as he has got his debut race here, as he's waving his wings to his competitors, as he puts up a 16.5, which is a strong time. So hopefully he can maybe improve, which I think he's about to start a flying lap. No, he's heading into the pits. So we won't see any more of Hot Cheetos. Cruz VB will be heading into the V-Carb outfit tonight and driving for them. Our Ruthless is also, I think, another reserve driver. He'll be racing for Cadillac tonight alongside Slippergoon. Mipixel, who is one of the new full-time drivers in this division, of course, took that seat from the very fast... can't remember his name off the top of my head. It wasn't Harmdon, it was the other one. Creeper, I think it was. That took his seat. So he's got big shoes to fill in this division. Uncle Morty will be the full-time driver for Alpine. He was a very, very strong driver last season. I raced him personally and was always someone that you didn't expect to be thereabouts, but was always getting consistent points. So I fully expect him to be within the top 10 when the checkered flag flies at the end of the 100% race tonight. PCAT will be in the Red Bull seat tonight. Haven't heard much about this guy, but we'll see what he can do tonight. I'm pretty sure he might be a reserve, but I could be wrong with that. Trackstar is in the Mercedes tonight. Full-time driver, had some issues potentially early on in the season, but looks like he's going to be seeing out this this seat, so good to see that he is committed to the Mercedes team. Ian Mack will be in the Haas. We don't see him out on track at the moment, but he's getting all his setup sorted. And we're seeing the other Aston Martin coming out onto the track in Vrooms, I think that is, who we will flash over to a moment whenever he decides to get out of the pits and on for his flying lap whenever we can get Oz than that. Looks like no, it was Mipixel that's coming out. My apologies. Mars 360 light for the Audi team. Coupon sticks for the Ferrari. A Ferrari, again, a very strong team. Looks like they only have one seat tonight, that Ferrari team. So we'll see if Coop can maximise the points for that Ferrari team, especially for the overalls. Kungbucks in the Red Bull. Romy One Kenobi, a phenomenal driver for the V-Carb team. Raced him personally last season as well, so he was always a good guy to come up against, and also post at 18.3, so hopefully he can go a little bit faster for his next few runs. Milano, who will be serving a quali band. VSC Paul and Hell, who will be in the Williams, and Conrad, who will be the only McLaren for tonight. So a very interesting grid here. Only 18 drivers out of the 22, so maybe some opportunities missed for some teams and for some TPs. But yeah, we'll see how this goes as Conrad puts up a 16.7. So very strong times here in the in Division 4. So nothing to slouch at. But while I've been just talking your ear off, ladies and gentlemen, I have just had a look at the chat, and we have been blessed with the appearance of a Div 1 driver that has a lot of pedigree and shown some competitive times and performances in that top division. M. John R, how you doing tonight, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Wasn't expecting to step up and do this, but yeah, it's just a good opportunity. I don't spectate many races, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, appreciate you jumping in with me. I didn't want to be just talking to the talking to the wall tonight, but yeah, appreciate you jumping in and having a yarn. And look, at the end of the day, we're just gonna talk, have fun, have a chat. Nothing too crazy, and yeah, might even have a chat with you about your time as Red Bull TP. Of course, you recently took over from Gangster, who has left the league unfortunately, but was someone that we're keen to have on board as the team principal for Red Bull. But how are you finding being a TP in Rush this season?
Yeah, I was very excited to take over the role. I think it's just a good opportunity to just get involved in the community, and I think like all my drivers are very good people. I'm more than happy to work with them. Yeah, my Div 4 boys especially, they're really engaged. They're great people to have on the team. Yeah, no, it's been tons of fun so far. Just wish we could get a bit more points, but yeah, I haven't been adding too many personally, so.
Yeah, and that's always the tough part, right? With especially doing a different role in Rush, you sometimes drop a little bit of time to practice and hone your craft a little bit, which can be a little bit disappointing. But you know, do you feel that you can get back on the bandwagon, maybe find some time to practice in between doing your TP responsibilities and helping some of the other drivers as well as yourself throughout the season? Do you think that's something you can manage?
I think so. I've had good quali pace, just I've struggled with race pace. I'm trying to get some stuff sorted out with that, but yeah. No, Kungbus is not my star driver, 690.
Whoa,
I'm not
that's,
sure why he hasn't come out yet.
Whoa.
But, he is not my star driver.
A bit of an exposing your star, exposing your driver
I,
there a
I
little
love
bit there, and
both of them equally. I love both of them.
Fair enough. Looks like we do have a surprise interview for Kungba, so I'm not sure if he's got the time to jump in to the VC, as he will be in the middle of qualifying. But if for some reason he finds the time with 7 minutes and 26 seconds to go and he hasn't even put in a time, then he's more than welcome to jump into the VC, and happy to have a chat with him if he is available. But let's have a look at the action. Speaking of your Red Bull team, let's have a quick chat about them. Do you think they're on for podiums, on for positions? Are you aiming for top 10s? What's the expectation for tonight, M. John?
I think midfield probably, because I think they were low 17s, high 16s. So yeah, midfield would be good, and yeah, that's still at the end of the day 100% more points available. So that's very solid. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, beautiful. Sorry, I was just grabbing me water. All right, let's have a gaze at some of these times. 16 flat is not a bad time. I think that was faster than my quality times. Jacuti putting up the times right now with 4/10 to the next best in Slippergoon. Let's see if we can jump on board with him, as he looks to be in the middle of his lap, and see how he is navigating the last few minutes of this qualifying session. Will he have time to finish his lap, dart back in, and then go out for another set with 6 minutes to go? We'll have to wait and see. But we'll see what he can do. Are you in the session, M. John? Can I just quickly ask?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. And you're on spectator and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Beautiful. Too easy. All right. Let's see where Slippergoon ends his flying lap, and if he improves his time and position. Definitely improves his time by 3/10, but Mipixel did actually nip the P2 position with a 16.111. So very quick times from some of these boys. I think it's going to be a really close battle tonight. And yeah, it's one thing to be fast in qualifying though, M. John, but you've also got to match that pace in the race. You obviously raced this track on Saturday night. You can remind me what position you finished. Actually, did you race Saturday night? I actually don't remember you seeing
I
in
did.
there.
Yeah, I
Okay, beautiful.
qualified like P5 and finished 14th.
Oh.
But yeah, quali's one thing, but yeah, 100% race. It's like hour and a half on such a difficult track with track limits. It's just quali is not that important. Yeah, it's just make sure that you have good wings so you can get through people.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really get past Ryan on Saturday. I noticed. I think his wings were lower than mine, and that's just something like sacrificing quali pace for just that straight line speed, which can be very important.
Yeah, it is pretty important, especially on just this track, which is surprising. But we're going to kick off with Uncle Morty and John. If you want to talk us through a lap of Imola as we jump on board with Uncle Morty as he starts his flying lap. Let's take us away.
Yep, so it's actually started raining from what I see, but he's used a lot of battery into turn one, a bit more than I would like. But not too bad through there. About 60% battery, just uses a fair bit there. Should be a nice lifting coast through here. Not too bad corner-wise. It's coming up end of sector 1, 3/10 down, so he might abort this. No, sorry, it's a bit laggy. He's using a lot of battery, but I think the rain will probably, it's really picking up from what I can see. Yeah, he's practically already ran out of battery, and that's track limits.
Oh, yeah, that's an
I think
invalidation
the track is really getting quite wet.
Yeah, I think that'll more than likely be the end of qualifying here for the vast majority of the field, unless there's somebody else that is on a flying lap. I think there is a
There's
McLaren.
Kungbus.
Yeah, Kungbus. Is he out on track yet? Is he on a fly?
He started his first lap with the rain coming.
That's a great time to kick it off, you know. Just as it starts bucketing down. We'll wait to see.
I think actually the overtake mode is off, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll be getting a time that'll be line up the timing boards anytime soon, but I think we'll see where he will end up at the end of qualifying. But I'll quickly just see if there is anybody else that was at the end of their laps at the moment. I think it's only just Kung Bus that seems to be near the end. I think there's a RB, if I'm not mistaken, that seems to be... No, they're going to be starting a lap, so...
Yeah, it's borderline inters now, from what I can see.
So look, I don't think we'll be seeing too much improvement from here. This RB is all over the track, cutting corners and validation. Jesus, Mother of Mary. He needs to dart into the pits and change those boots over ASAP. But yeah, this will more than likely be the end of qualifying, unless someone is going to come up with a new glitch and find out that the inters are actually faster than the slick tires. I think this will more than likely be the end as we start to see a lot of people starting to retire. So we'll end the formalities and say that Jacuti will have his first pole position here in Rush as Kung Bus crosses the line with a 137.
Might need a word with him.
Might have to have a chat. John, do you need to dart out of the comms box for a few minutes and have a chat with your boys?
Yeah, come on. To be fair to him, I actually did... My lap on Saturday was a little bit in the wet because I was in the bathroom. Just had a quick bathroom break, and I came back and saw it was a bit wet. So I think that lost me a couple tenths, but he's lost 21 seconds from that. So I feel like it's a bit of a different situation.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like it's raining cats and dogs here on track, as we've seen Pixels struggling to get into the pit lane. That was almost a catastrophe, but Kung Bus is the one and only driver on track at the moment. I think I wouldn't mind if everyone darted into the pits and decided to retire, so we can move on with the next part of the process, as we will need to do a lobby reset again, just to ensure that we try to mitigate the red flag procedures in situations that we've had over the last few weeks, as this game has thrown some curveballs at us at the beginning of the F1 26 DLC. So let's quickly go through the formalities here. I think this will more than likely be the grid for the race start. So we have Jacuti G, who will be your pole sitter, with Mipixel very, very close next to him in P2. Slippergoon will be in position number 3. Our Ruthless, very good showing for the Cadillac outfit, both P3 and P4, so great stuff for them, and that'll be very important points for them to kick off their overall charge. Hot Cheetos, again, another debutant in position number 5, so we'll see where he will end up, as all the drivers have decided to retire. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for retiring and expediting it by a couple of 30 seconds or so. So we'll run through the formalities and then have a quick little break. I'll quickly run through the order as quickly. We got up to Hot Cheetahs in P5, Conrad in P6, Cruz in P7, Uncle Morty P8, VSC Paul and Hell in the Williams in P9, P-Cat in 10th, Trackster 11th, Vrooms in 12th, Coop on Sticks 13th, Mars on 14th, Romu and Kenobi 15th, Ian Max 16th, and Kung Bus, who will be the last official last official time sitter with 17th with a minute and 37, and of course Milano did have that quali ban, so he did not set a time in this qualifying session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in a short few moments. We're going to do the lobby reset and do all the formalities. Appreciate you guys for being very diligent with this one, and we'll be back on track for the remaining of OCE Division 4 here at Imola. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Rush Racing League here in Division 4 at Imola. We have got the lobby sorted. Qualifying has been set. We've got the Williams on pole, which is all fantastic things that I like to see. But now we're going to head into 100% here at Imola for the final time here this week at Imola. And we're going to be setting over to the game in just a short few moments. John, are you ready to go for tonight, mate? Are you ready to see some Div 4 action?
Yeah, it should be good. It'll be an interesting run into turn one. Like, it's a very long race, but everyone wants to get a good start. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see with the rain expected at the end what different tyres people do. I doubt anyone's going to try to make it to the rain. I think that would be quite ambitious, but yeah, it'll shake things up. Should be a good race.
Yeah, agreed. I think maybe a little bit of a leak there, John, but yeah, we do expect some rain near the end, so we'll have to wait and see how that all shakes out in this division. How these more inexperienced drivers, I'd say, in the entirety of Pool of Rush Racing, deal with that sort of adversity near the end of the race. But we seem to be loading in right now, ladies and gentlemen. So let me switch over to the action as we're going to be loading into the session. We're going to start to see these drivers start to allocate their tyre setups at the or their tyre allocation. What would you go in a race like this? You know the rain's coming. John, are you going balance? Are you going softer? Are you going harder? What's the thought process here? What are you thinking?
I think probably harder. Just you never know when you're going to get caught up in an incident, and to have that extra set of hards, I think, is the most important thing. Like, just in case, like you get damage on your mediums and you need a box like lap 2, just to do a hard because I doubt the hards would make it straight to the rain.
Yeah.
And the hards are just a better tyre than the mediums, I'd say. So that's what I would do.
Yes, I agree, 100%. I feel like yeah, that was something that allowed me to be successful last night in my my bid to go from dead last to P4, was actually having that extra set of hard compound tires to pit back onto after my first stint. So yeah, have to agree. I think if you're in a race like this, I think you'd be silly to not go harder, especially for a 100% race. So we'll see how this goes. I will kick off the start of the race, and hopefully we can get this underway very diligently, because it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night of racing action, and we'll see how these guys go. Is there anyone that you've got your eyes peeled on, John, tonight? Maybe someone that might be a bit of a dark horse, someone that you think should dominate tonight? Who you got your eyes on?
Just the Williams of Jacudi, and I think the two caddies. They look good, but it'll be interesting to see what what happens with the different setups.
Yeah, have to agree. I think setup makes a massive difference here at this track specifically. I think if you're running one of those higher wing setups, I think you're going to feel the pain later on into the race. You might have better tyre wear, but we'll see how we kick off here for division number 4 here at Imola. The lights are out and we are off and racing. Jacudi gets a suboptimal start, and Pixel has actually taken the lead of the Grand Prix from the start. As we see here, they're going side by side into turn 1. Can Jacudi keep the position? He does not. He'll have to cede the position to the Aston Martin of Pixel. Fantastic start from the man in the green machine, as he will kickstart his adventure here tonight and see how he will go for the remaining few laps. Let's head into see if there's any more jostling for position in the back end of the grid, and we're going to see that Traxler looks to be fighting Paul and Hell for position number 11 and ends up getting ahead of him on this occasion. There seems to be some jostling at the back as well. Milano does get a position on Coop on sticks for position number 15. There's a position here made in P number 6 for Cruise VB 77, makes the move on the McLaren. So some feisty moves into lap 1 here, and some guys going to be jostling for position, and Slippergoon does get ahead of the Alpine there of Hot Cheetos, who actually has a really good start. We got up into P3 at the beginning and jumped both the Cadillacs, but looks like Slippergoon is a little bit wiser to it and gets that position back, gets into position number 3. He will most likely lose that overtake onto this back straight though, and he might be vulnerable to a move from Hot Cheetos. Let's see if he can make a move on this occasion. Holds his line to the right-hand side there, the Cadillac, and see how they go into turn 1. Hot Cheetos makes that look very straightforward. He's up into P3, heading into lap number 2. John, what are your thoughts on the beginning few stints of this race?
Yeah, I saw a couple end plates flying at the back. There was a lot of people in the gravel, so it looked pretty hectic back there. But no one's in the pits. Already seen a couple gaps. Hot Cheetos and P3 lost overtake mode to top 2. Slippergoon on the hards, just it makes sense on why he didn't get an optimal start. He'll get back into the race when his tyres start getting into it more. But yeah, both caddies losing a position that's not what they would want, not what SJ would want.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's not an ideal start, but could be worse. Looks like Traxter's had a bit of an off here into the second sector, and he seemed to have lost some front wing as well. Unfortunately, that right side looks a bit sadder than usual, so he might need to have a bit of a suss on changing his pit strategy. He has started on the hard compound tyre, and he's still looking to fight this position with Milano. Oh, he almost takes out the V-carb for good measure, but he's going to get swallowed up by the Ferrari of Coupon Sticks, who goes off track. You got to keep it on the black stuff, mate. You can't make a move out there. That's unfortunate for Coupon Sticks, who could have had an opportunity there, but he actually lost more position. But Trackstar is trying to make the best out of this situation that he's caught himself into, but he's decided to stay out with this broken front wing. I'm not sure if that's the right decision to go for. I think you've just got to chalk it up and pit at some point and change your strat over, and even if you've got to do a 2-stop. So interested to see how he's going to navigate the remaining few laps of this race. And he does end up getting a position though, so I don't know, he might have just shut me up pretty quickly there, so we'll see how he goes. Let's quickly run through the entirety of the field. We've still got MePixel, sorry, who's going to be heading the field at the moment in position number 1. Looks like Vrooms, his teammate, did get a move on Milano in the meantime, and Bobby is going to move on Mars as well. We've got Jacuti in position number 3. Hot Cheetos just behind him, hot on their tails, but he's trying to drop Slippergoon from the overtake, but he's not going to do it on this occasion. Slippergoon is in position number 4. Ruthless, guy, is in position 5. Cruz VB is in position 6. I think he did just make a move on the McLaren. Conrad in P7, Uncle Morty in P8, PCAT, P9, and Paul and Hell will round out the top 10 placings here. A lot of guys, a lot of mixed tyre strats going on at the moment. He is our Ruthless guy. Looks to have made a move on his teammate. I think that might have been a bit of team orders. They might have switched there, so might have been some SJ magic to make the call to switch those around. Slippergoon has really dropped off our Ruthless guy, so maybe the right call to make in hindsight.
Yeah, there's a lot of gaps in the field now. Kungbus up 6 positions from his start, so very, very good from him. Yeah, very unusual, only 3 laps, and I'm seeing a lot of 1 second plus gaps, so be interesting to see how that plays out for the front of the field when pit stops come around. See if they can get some clean air.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at those switches of position. There looks to be a yellow flag for the McLaren here. Sorry, let's quickly have a look at Conrad, see if he's got any damage of any kind of any issues. He looks to be A-OK, but looks like he's under a lot of pressure from Uncle Morty. So we'll keep an eye on Conrad and see if he can suppress the danger that is the Red Bull behind. Sorry, not Uncle Morty. Uncle Morty's the driver ahead of him. But looks like we've had a bit of a slow car, a rooster car. Seems to be all the way at the back of the field here. There's a lot going on in this first few laps. There's a lot of action.
Just haircut. Bit of contact with Conrad there. Just outbraked himself a little, but seems okay.
Might have been a little bit
very
of
close
youthful exuberance there. Let's quickly have a look at the position changes. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Milano makes the move on Traxter as well. He's still out there with the broken front wing. He's still getting swallowed up by almost everyone on the main straight. Again, let's have a look at those position changes. Kungbus, your top profiter here in the first few laps of the race, up 6 positions, with Bobby a close second behind there, and with 5 positions gained in the first few laps. Some of the biggest losers does seem to be Traxter, which no surprise, he does have that front wing damage, and of course Coupon Sticks, who did try to go for that move on Traxter early on in the race that we saw. But yeah, we're starting to see the race start to show its teeth, as we did see one of the Haas did go off the apex there in position number 19 in Mac. We've got to, as I said before, keep it on the black stuff, and he's failed to do that again this time around. So hopefully he can plug in the correct controller and or maybe get the wheel back connected, and hopefully we can see some some more in between the lines racing as he also gets himself a 3-second time penalty for good measure. But let's have a quick gander at the front grid. Looks like Mipixel has gapped Jakudi G here. But as I say that, commentators curse. He just got himself a 3-second penalty. That's going to be crucial going into the last few laps of the race. Of course, right now, there's still a massive opportunity for everybody to get track limit pens, but not something you want to see early on in the race, as our Ruthless guy also gets a 3 seconds for good measure. Let's have a look at those, John, on these penalties.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be seeing a lot of them. Just a difficult track, and yeah, I think we'd be seeing tons if it was a 50%, let alone 100%. But yeah, just Pixel at the front has no battery, so that he might start slowing down a bit. Jakudi does have quite the advantage on that. Yeah, I just saw at the back, this Coupon Sticks has been having quite a couple offs on his hard, so I'm not sure what's going on there as Trackstar gets past Bobby. So yeah, quite a few drivers on the hards actually.
Yeah, as you said, it is the tyre to be on, but you know you still have to be on the mediums at some point during the race. So we'll see when these guys decide to change over those white walled boots for the yellow walled ones and make a switch over. Trackstar's been, I would say, quite competitive for having half a front wing. As I say that, he does get overtaken by Bobby there onto the penultimate turn and onto the final turn. Let's see if he decides to head into that pit lane. He's still deciding to just, for lack of a better word, expose himself and just continuing to see if he can manage the race a little bit better, as we see Mars makes a move on Coupon Sticks into the start finish and into turn 1. So great move from the Audi driver as Coupon Sticks tries to attack the position and gets it 3 seconds for good measure. Rooster Card is doing pirouettes out of turn 1. That doesn't look like it's going to be a safety car, but it is going to lose him a lot of time in this race. So hopefully he can get back going and make his way back up the field. So unfortunate to see. It looks like Mars needs an invite, John, if possible. See if you can invite him. I know you probably won't have him added, but if you can, just try to invite him when you get the opportunity, mate. I will continue the spectating adventure and having a look at the race as we continue on. Hot Cheetos is all over. Sorry, Hot Cheetos has got a lot of pressure from both the Cadillacs at the moment, as he looks to be quite vulnerable this time around to our Ruthless guy. Let's see if he can get the move done on this occasion. Looks like Rooster Card has called it a night and left the session. But our Ruthless doesn't look like he has the battery to fight Hot Cheetos into turn number 1. We'll have to sit around for second best at the moment. Jakudi G looks like he's going to be losing the overtake to Hot Cheetos, so Hot Cheetos will be a little bit vulnerable to those Cadillacs behind, but doesn't look like he's getting any closer to Mipixel. Very, very dominant driver, already a 3-second gap with only 8 laps into the race, so I fully expect him to be in the double digits here, Mipixel, as the race progresses. As he's shown a lot of fantastic pace, so it's really up to him as to whether or not he will be tonight's victor or not. He's put himself in the best position possible by being at the front of the grid, so we'll see how it all shakes out. Cruise VB77 made a move onto Uncle Morty, so good to see that we've got some racy fellas that are going to go up against these Alpines. I was not a fan of these Alpines last season, I will be honest. They were not my best friend, so I have a little bit of disdain, to say the least, for these fellas. But Uncle Morty is going to fight that position back, which I fully expect from a driver of his caliber. He's going to take it into the penultimate corner. Does get the position lead, but he might have exposed himself to overtake if he did get past before the overtake detection zone. Will Cruise VB77 get the move done? It doesn't look like he has a lot of battery looking at the onboard screen there, so won't be able to fight that position into turn 1, and looks like Uncle Morty will secure position number 6 on lap number 9. When do you think is the time that we need to start talking about pit stops here, John? Are we thinking that's going to be anytime soon?
Shouldn't be. I'd expect around low 20s. I doubt people will be extending, well, on the mediums, low 20s. Hards would probably be maybe mid 30s. But yeah, just the rain at the end will change a lot of the stuff. There's Uncle Morty and Cruz are side by side. They've been going at it. Seems
Yeah,
relatively clean.
yeah, it was great racing between those two. We were just having a quick squiz at that as you were telling us about the pit strats, so thank you very much for that. That was a really good battle from these two. I think they're going to be fighting tooth and nail for these positions, even coming near the end of the race. So fighting for some very important points. Again, it is a 100% race, so a lot of these drivers will be getting a lot more points than a normal 50% weekend. So a lot of these positions have a lot more value when you do end up making those places. So we'll see how they go. Of course, it's much more important to finish the race in a position that you already are than risking it and maybe even DNFing yourself. So I do hope that these drivers keep it clean and keep it in between the white lines as much as possible. As it looks like Uncle Morty is managing his race a little bit better than Cruz. It seemed like he's able just to defend his position into turn one, which is a very vulnerable spot to get overtaken on this track. So really world-class management there from Uncle Morty. I wouldn't expect anything less for someone that was very, very competitive last season. But this is the place where they fought each other quite hard the previous lap. Conrad is starting to get roped into this battle as well because Cruz and Uncle Morty are battling so hard. And we'll see if maybe he can invite himself into the fray here, Conrad, as he's going to try and maybe close the gap to these guys. Have a quick look at Pearcat. I thought maybe he could have made a move, but it looks like Milano was all over the back of Vrooms this occasion, but he did have an off. Uncle Morty and Cruz still going at it. These guys are fighting for this P6 position like it's, you know, fighting for a championship at Abu Dhabi 2021. Kangbus gets a 3-second time penalty for good measure as well. I fully expect Uncle Morty to get this move done to turn one, and John.
Yeah, no, they just seem to be going at it, just switching back and forth. Looks like Uncle Morty's going to be trying again. Yeah, Cruz out of battery, so the Cruz, I don't think he'll be able to defend it. So yeah, Uncle Morty gets back past. He'll be looking to make a gap with his overtake and bit of an advantage with the battery.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a battle of the battery here. I think obviously on most tracks that's going to be the case, but this one more than any because there isn't really a lot of obvious places to recharge your battery quite easily. I think you kind of need to be managing it throughout the entirety of the race as we're starting to see that management battle come into effect. Cruz maybe managing a little bit better in this uphill left-hand section. Tries to make a move onto Uncle Morty, but this is just roping in Conrad. I'm really worried about this guy coming in and just disturbing this battle and maybe even taking the position from both of them. Cruz is trying to pull to the side, but doesn't look like he's going to get the move. Sorry, do you have an update for us there, John?
Just noticing the gap between Uncle Morty and the group ahead. It's just really growing. As I'll just send another invite to
Oh yeah, to Bobby. Yeah, sorry, I just saw that as well. Slippergoon looks to have battling Hot Cheetos and gets the move done. I think we need to start having the discussion about pit stops because it looks like the harder compound tyre is starting to show its teeth and be the more competitive tyre out of the two at this stage of the race. So we'll see how the hard runners can go up against a lot of these medium runners and see if they can make some moves. This is probably these next 10 to 15 laps the worst part of the race if you're someone that is racing on the medium compound tire because those mediums wear so much quicker than the other tire than the hards. Also, it looks like Kangbus looked to have made the position onto Pearcat there. Maybe a little bit of team orders from the combox there, John. Maybe a little bit of a few messages that maybe got sent their way potentially.
Yeah, they're just going about it how I want. They seem to coordinate that. Just drove past. So yeah, that's good. Just less fighting, the better.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like Pearcat did give himself the 3-second time penalty, trying to defend the position against Romeo and Kenobi. He's all over the back of him. Does kind of pressure him to go defensive into the uphill chicane here, Romeo and Kenobi. See if he can get the move done on the Red Bull sister team here. As he'll be racing in the V-Carb, and he's on that hard compound tyre, as we mentioned before, that is going to be a lot more racier at this stage of the race Hot Cheetos gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and thank you very much for getting Rooster Card back in, John. Appreciate that. Let's see if Romeo and Kenobi can get the move done on the Red Bull here. He's going to be darting to the right-hand side. He's going to go past the Red Bull before the start-finish. So, completely outbrakes
Almost
himself.
took out Kung
Oh
Bus.
my god, and he came back onto the track. That could potentially be a report and have a look at there. Romeo and Kenobi is still going to fight the position, though.
Yeah, he's just getting a bit impatient.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unfortunate there, a little bit of inexperience, I would say, heading into that corner. Peacat, you got to keep it on the black.
Yeah,
stuff,
but
mate.
went a bit close on the inside, hit the grass, and he's got past now.
Yeah, that'll be position 11 for Romeo and Kenobi.
Oh, he's went off again.
Or not, Peacat.
Wow.
Unless Peacat's got some negative magnets in his car that's pushing Romeo and Kenobi off, like, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Kenobi's went off again.
Yeah, it seems
he's out of the second now.
Which is
Not
really
sure if he has
bizarre.
damage.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. It doesn't look like he's got damage, and he is on the faster tyre, I would say. But let's go back to the front of the grid for a moment here. It looks like the Cadillac have switched again. So Slippergoon has taken the position back from our Ruthless guy. I think, as we've mentioned before, this is the stage of the race where the hard compound tyre is going to be a lot more racy. He's going to be threatening the Williams man of Jakudi G. He's all over the back of him. I mean, if I was the Williams TP, I'd be saying, let this guy go. Just don't bother about him at the moment. He's not our race at the moment. But slowing him down could potentially be very good for the Williams race, as the longer you delay these hard compound tyre runners, the better you'll be going into the later stages of the race. So we'll see how they navigate this. Slippergoon is all over the back of Jakudi G. Does get ahead of him into the chicane and will get that position, but cuts the corner. Does he have to redress there, John? He cut the corner to get the overtake
Not
done.
sure. You'd assume so, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah,
I think if not, then that will probably be looked at, I reckon.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think he might have to give that position back, and it needs to be soon because he's got his teammate that's going to be all over the back of the Williams man as well. So there could be a penalty going Slippergoon's way for that overtake. And we'll see if the Williams can defend against the other Cadillac racer in our Ruthless guy. This has brought in Hot Cheetos into the battle as well, into the mix. So we'll see how this goes. In the meanwhile, we've got that Hot Cheetos man hot on the tails of the Cadillac. And while this is all kicking off, let's have a look at me Pixel. He's completely on his own. He's having a holiday. He is kicked back and he is loving life at the front of the field, 7 seconds ahead of position number 2. So really phenomenal drive. I haven't seen him make any mistakes during this drive. It looks very, very patient, very clean, very straightforward. And he just needs to execute his pit strategy, and I think he will put himself in the best position possible.
I've got Croz down the inside at Uncle Morty. They're side to side. Looks clean. They're racing quite well. Yeah, it gives up the position. But yeah, Pixel, very good drive. He's don't need to worry about pens when you've got such a gap. So yeah, Kenworth will be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, we'll see this battle go on the entirety of the night. I think we mentioned this before between Uncle Morty and Cruz, but Conrad has just been, I don't know, he's just kind of been sitting behind these guys. I feel like, especially if you're one of the hard tyre runners at this stage of the race, you really need to make these overtakes and start to just drive away from these medium tyre runners. So Uncle Morty doing a fantastic job of holding up these hard tyre runners. So we'll see if maybe Cruz can make a move on this occasion and get the move done. It doesn't look like he has a lot of ERS in comparison to Uncle Morty, but will maybe try to go on the inside. No, he just sticks behind this occasion and maybe tries to regen off of being in the toe of Uncle Morty. But yeah, this is a great battle for position number 6 that we've been seeing this entire beginning stages of the race long, if that makes any sense. Roostercard again has disconnected. If you can, maybe try one more time. Of course, if he leaves again, then he'll just need to move on and jump back in and maybe retire if he's not able to continue racing. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on the battles that are around. It looks like we're going to head over back to the front of the grid, and more specifically for position number 3. Looks like the Cadillac is going to be all over the back of the Williams man once again. Can he get the move done on this occasion? we'll see if our Ruthless guy can get it done. He is actually 8/10 back on this time, so unless he's got a lot more energy stored in the tank, which doesn't look like to be the case, he is going to have to just settle for second best again. But I still think this is still a good position for Jacuti. I don't have an issue with this. It's not better than Mapixel, but yeah, I don't have an issue with Jacuti sitting behind a hard runner and getting towed around. But looks like he's going to try and fight him into this corner. Slippergoon is out of ERS. He just absolutely might have messed up his ERS there and dropped the position to Jacuti and just takes back position number 2. So once again, the Williams man takes back the second podium place and will be continuing his fantastic drive. Tracks though with another 3-second penalty. Let's have a look at the tyres. Sick party. Yeah. You are tweaking. I'm glad you are. Yeah, I appreciate that, Sick Party. You had that self-awareness to realise that, and I can appreciate that. So thank you, Sick Party. Slippergoon going back for position number 2. Well done to Slippergoon, as he'll get the position back from the Williams man. So yeah, interesting first few laps. Lap 17. I think we need to start to have a discussion about tyre strats here, John. I think those medium runners are starting to think about how early they can pit onto the hard compound tyre.
Yeah, I think medium runners will definitely be feeling it by now. Yeah, hards will be the optimal tyre. Yeah, everything seems to just be a bit calmer now. Just coming to the middle of the race, everything's relaxed a little.
Yeah, it's starting to excuse me. It's starting to just kick back a little bit. We've got a Kung Cam. All right, you've done it for view for 1 lap, right? Okay, yeah, let's get a Kung Cam as he conveniently starts his lap. Do you want to talk us through this lap here, John, as we're doing an onboard with Kung Bus?
Yep. So yeah, takes first couple of corners fantastic. Got a bit of battery, just deploys it a little bit. Yeah, good apex, just really brilliant stuff from him. I think he was off the track there, but that doesn't matter because it's Kung Bus. Yeah, just it's tough to tell what's good in a race when there's so much fuel, but it seems to be not too sloppy at the moment. But yeah, we'll be looking to close the gap to the Williams ahead. He's run out of battery now, so yeah, just try to get some lift and coasting in, but seems pretty clean. It's coming into the chicane, very difficult chicane, especially for a race. I was struggling with it a lot. Just difficult to get it right every time, but looks not too bad. And yeah, hopefully big lift into this final part so we can have some battery for the straight. Yeah, takes it nice. I think he gained a little bit ahead. Fuck. Sorry. Crude, I'm trying, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Yes. He's up 7 positions. So.
It's not a bad lap from Kung Bus. Thanks very much for that play-by-play. And Aiden is raid and needs to get an undies change. Thanks for letting us know, cuz. You know, there's some things that we can keep to ourselves from this point on, but appreciate you for feeling confident and comfortable enough to share with the individuals that are watching this race tonight. All right, Romo and Kenobi getting his first 3-second penalties, and here are your penalties as it stands. I'm not going to read them out. There are too many to go through. If you want to have a look at them, look at the screen. There's all the pens there. Slippergoon, the more important one, with 6 seconds already, with only 20 laps in. So we're not even at halfway. So we fully expect him to get 12 seconds by the end, unless he can find a little bit more consistency with his car placement for the remainder of the race. But again, I want to give a shout out again to Mipixel. Like the leader of the race has not had to see anybody else's cars besides the blue flags that he's going to come up to in just a few moments' time. So really good race from the Aston Martin man and the man in the green machine. And we'll see if he can continue his dominance heading into the remaining few laps. I say remaining few, like there's not 40 laps to go, but anyway, it's neither here or there. PCAT 10 seconds penalty, Speedy in the pit lane. Are we starting to see those pits Are we starting to see the strategy start to come into effect, M. John? Is this the part of the plan to get a 10-second speed in pit lane infringement?
No, I don't think we discussed that. But yeah, happens to the best of the best, and that's just what Bearcat is. So no, it's all right. But yeah, we did talk about maybe a bit of an earlier pit with the rain. So yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see where Peacat can put himself up into the remaining few laps. There's going to be some crucial laps here for him, as he will have the undercut in the vast majority of the field. So important that he does get those times down. Of course, he just unfortunately did give himself that 10 seconds time penalty and does go off track a little bit there as well. But looks like Vrooms looks to be making moves as well. Maybe he got a move done on Coupon Sticks, who was off track. Maybe a little bit of argy-bargy stuff that potentially could have happened there. Unfortunate to see the Ferrari have some troubles tonight. Coupon Sticks had a few incidents already. I think there was that one early on with Trackstar, and he unfortunately came off second best and lost a few positions. So hopefully he can find a little bit more pace. Kungbus is going to be heading in to the pits on lap 21 and changing over to the hard compound tyre. So it looks like Kungbus has been listening to some of those pit strategies that you've been putting forward, M. John, and we'll see how he goes. I think this is not a bad strat, M. John, because as you mentioned, that rain's going to come in at the latter stages of the race, as we've mentioned, and as we're well aware of. So maybe these guys can get a bit of benefit from maybe going on to the inters at the second part of the race. Of course, that will only really be of benefit if the rain is wet enough to head over to the inters, of course. So taking a bit of a gamble here. We'll feel the pain at the end of the race, but definitely a sound thinking strategy.
Yeah, why not? Just give some new things a try. Yes, good. Got a bit of clear air.
Beautiful.
I don't think anyone else is in yet.
Yeah, looks like a lot of the other drivers are sticking. I think the game does suggest lap 25, if I'm not mistaken, or lap 26. So we'll see how we can do it. Backus Cast, can you do a lap in sign language? You trying to give me like a subconscious way of telling me to shut up, or what's the go there, crew? Like, if that's the case, guys, you can just let me know. You know. All right, let's see how we are managing. Pixel, 11 seconds ahead of Slippergoon in position number 2. Cadillac's in position 2 and 3. So it's a great result to be. Great situation at the moment. Very, very competitive placements for that Cadillac outfit. And I think, I might have just seen, I think our Ruthless has a bit of front wing damage.
Yeah, it does look like it, yeah. Right end plate.
SJ definitely happy right now. You want to hope so. Well, I mean, might have just jinxed it because he's heading into the pits. So I think he will do a front nose change as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I just did see Paul and Hell disconnect from the session. So, John, if you're able to do so, please, and just see if you can get Paul and Hell back into the session. Looks like the Cadillac only did change his tyres and not his nose. So maybe he feels he can deal with the front wing damage that he has at the moment for the remaining of the race. Will feel a lot of pain, but hopefully he can gain it all back with the positions that he gets from not having to change that nose.
I'm just having a look. So he's in the box. There's a chance that he might have meant to fix it. It's quite finicky with, like, if you don't have enough damage, it doesn't automatically do it. So hopefully that's not the case, and he just feels like he can stay out with it. But yeah, Penn's still not as much as I would have expected, to be honest. But yes, only a couple drivers with multiple, and yeah, a couple pit lane speed penalties. So
Yeah, let's have a look at about to make an overtake. Let's see the action. Where's the overtake happening? I don't see I don't see any of the overtakes. I do see the Williams heading into the pit, so Jacuti will head over onto the harder compound tyres. So we'll see how this goes for the remaining few laps. We'll see if there's any battles that are happening right now, as it looks like Jacuti will lose that position to our Ruthless guy, who did pit the lap earlier. Peak had got a 10-second penalty for ignoring blue flags. That is not what you want to see from the Red Bull man there. And John, this is not a great race for you to be spectating here. It's an unfortunate penalty to get, and I'll be honest, not to be critical, but a quite avoidable one if I'm being completely honest. So unfortunate to see that. Milano did pit over to the new boots and onto the hard compound tyres. We're starting to see a lot of these guys switch it over and onto the white-walled tyres.
I'm just seeing some false rumours spread in the chat. Yeah, not very happy with that. Yeah, I love both of my drivers. Never said anything but that. So yeah, just keep a bit of class, boys. I'd never say such stuff about my drivers. As Kung lead moves up to P12, so it's good for him.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have some stiff competition in coupon sticks. We're seeing a few more guys that are heading into the pits as well and seeing where they will end up when the pit lanes are all sorted. Coupon sticks and Mars are going side by side through the chicane here. Can they keep it clean going into the next section of corners? They seem to be trying to suss each other out, moving side to side there, Mars. A little bit subject and will go off track, and same with coupon sticks. So maybe an incident for the stewards room again, as that was a little bit questionable to say the least, and Mars will need to give that position up to the Aston Martin, as he does have blue flags from a pixel, so he will need to yield that position. Another 3-second track penalty. I'm not going to keep reiterating them. You can see them on screen and have a look at them, but a big one that just popped up on my screen that I am going to talk about is Mipixel getting a 3 seconds of his own, which could be important going into the later stages of the race. Again, does have 13 seconds gap to Slippergoon, who also has 6 seconds of pens. So yeah, it's starting to show its teeth, this race, as a lot of the pit lane strategies are starting to get engaged. Pauline Hell's still out on 24 lap old mediums. Same with Roll Me One Kenobi, he'll be out on 24 lap old hards. Same with Conrad, Cruz, and Slippergoon. But Pixel's still hanging out on these harder compound on the medium compound tires. I wonder when he is going to pit onto the hard compound tires.
Yeah, Pixel's still out. But yeah, he's built quite the gap, so he should be all good to pit into clear air. So yeah, he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he's put himself in the best possible position for this race tonight. Do you think there are a few too many hard tyre runners at this stage of the race? I think everyone needs to start to suss out when they can dart into the pits. I will admit though, Mipixel is still building a bit of a gap to the rest of the field still. So he's maintained that 14 seconds gap at the moment. Doesn't seem like he's lost too much time being on the medium compound. Has made this work, so I fully expect him to be quite racy when he switches over to that harder compound tyre. And if he can be able to gain time at this stage of the race when the other guys are on hard compound tyres that don't wear nowhere near as much, I fully expect him to be quite racy when he heads over onto the hard compound tyres. So yeah, great performance so far, and he's just gained even more time this lap. Looks to be gapping the field by half a second already. So seems to really be enjoying this track and putting some fantastic lap times down, as we're going to see him cross the start-finish line to start lap 28 here. But he will not cross the start-finish line because he's actually going to be heading into the pit lane. So we'll finally see him dart in to change over those boots for the hard compound tyres. I do think he is our penultimate leader at the moment, as all the guys that are staying out are on harder compound tyres and will still need to pit. But more importantly, Mapixel will need to come out ahead of our Ruthless guy, who also pitted onto the harder compound tyres. There was almost a little bit of an incident there with a lapped car for
Yeah, I saw that.
So maybe something to have another look at for the stewards, as they might be a bit busy after tonight's race.
Yeah, got very close there, but yeah, Pixel just coming out 12 seconds behind Slippergoon, who hasn't pitted on the hards. He'll be out for probably another 10 or so laps, so he very much could catch him in that time.
Yeah, based on the pace that we've seen, I fully expect him to catch him before the pit happens. Another pit that is going to be conducted in this lap is VSC Paul and Hell. He's going to be coming in onto the harder compound tyres, getting off those yellow boots and changing them for softs. Huh.
Wow.
I might need to send a message to Guido and say, look, I don't think that's what we intended.
Yeah, maybe anticipating rain quite early.
In 5 laps?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. The softs can last.
Oh, there was a big off behind from the rejoining of the Williams there. And Coupon Sticks is spinning. Mars is spinning too. What's just happened? I think Pauline Hell has come out and caused a collision potentially.
Yeah.
And that's caused a safety car. Wow, this is really throwing a spanner in the works.
So that, I'm assuming we'll see some pits for the front boys on the hards, even though it's a bit early, just because of the rain expected. I think they should come in.
Yeah, but can you make it to the end of the hard compound tyre if it doesn't rain, or if the rain is not hard enough? Like, if the rain comes and it's not hard enough to go into the inters, I know this conversation sounds sus as it speaks, but anyway. But you know, if it's not wet enough, that's even worse. What am I saying? Yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say. But safety car, I think this is going to throw a lot of strategies out the window. This is not a great time to have a safety car, especially if you're someone that is just pitted onto new tyres. You're essentially giving the opportunity for a lot of these medium runners to now, the harder runners to now go into the mediums to be competitive in the second half of the race. Oh, Cass, you're having a howler. Cruder, allow it. It's the 100% race, cuz. I didn't even want to do this to begin with, yeah? Lay off, alright? Far out. But appreciate M. John for being here with me, so thanks very much, mate. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this race shakes out. Slippergoon, the leader at the moment, will head into the pit and change over those boots, as we mentioned before.
Yep, so everyone will be in. This is exactly what someone like Pixel would not have wanted, because he has 6 seconds, while someone like Dakudi has no penalties, so that definitely could play a factor as it gets closer to the end of the race. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, looks like VSC Paul and Hell came out to change over those boots onto the white coloured tyres and not the red ones. So good to see that he's decided to change back to a little bit more race appropriate tyre instead of the red wall ones. So see if he can make some positions back up. He will obviously be behind the safety car, and he'll be behind the pixels. So he will have to, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not ideal to be behind the leader under the safety car. So he will need to duck out of the way when the safety car goes back into the pits, and let those other guys who are unlapping themselves drive past him. But yeah, that's not an ideal situation to be in for the Williams. Looks like Conrad is going to be heading into the pits, and he's going to be coming out onto the white wall tyres as well. This is really going to be a battle of wits, I think. A lot of these medium runners will be a lot racy at the beginning, but again, as we saw in the first phase of the race, the harder compound tyre will become the better tyre within about 10 to 15 laps, and then you'll start to see the hard tyres start to be a little bit more racy. So if you're someone on the hard compound tyres, I would highly recommend just having your wits about you. If you see a medium runner, let them go for the time being, as Milano will be pitting and serving his penalty as well in the pits. And the Pixel will be leading out the field under the safety car. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I just saw Ian Mack in P18 had a bit of an off there. I'm not sure if he lost any positions from it, but I think he got caught up by the slowing pack. But yeah, I believe Conrad boxed from the mediums, fresh mediums, onto the hards. So it's interesting that they just prefer to be on the hards at the moment. But they did lose the position to Kungbus from doing that. And yeah, no, you're not going to pass Kungbus. It's not really a thing. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen it happen on the stream yet, so yeah, we might have to keep an eye on Kungbus. I'll be honest, fellas, I need to go to the loo, so I'm gonna leave this with you for the restart. I'm gonna be on board with the Pixel,
Right.
and I'll be back from the loo. I am busting, so I'll be back in a moment.
All right, Chaos is gonna go.
All right. You know what? I think I definitely muted the wrong thing. So I think I muted you. So my mic was on.
Yeah, I did see a couple on board.
Dude, we can hear him
requests
piss.
for your bathroom.
Look. I do apologize for that. I needed to go to the loo. Like it needed to happen. I was.
Everyone wanted that. It's all good.
All right. Looks like we still haven't started the safety car. There's still some guys that are racing around. This is really bizarre. How come we haven't started yet? This is we should be coming in surely going to be this lap, right?
Should be this lap, yeah.
Even though there's some guys that are at the back of the pack. I wonder who those guys are. They must have recently pit, which is why they're so far out of order. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on the start procedures here. Of course, it looks like Slippergoon will have two cars that he'll need to overtake under the blue flags if the safety car does decide to head in. But looks like it is going to go around again. So yeah. Tell me what's your assessment of this race so far, M. John? We've expected what we've seen, or maybe some few surprises. I do see Kungbus in P7, and I'm not going to say I'm surprised, but you know.
I think it's about what I'd expect from Kungbus. He's put in some good work for this race, so yeah, very happy with him, with just the effort he's been putting in. I think that's more important than the results. So yeah, I'm happy with my team. But yeah, there's quite a few lapped cars who I saw that Pearcat was able to get through, but there's still quite a few in that pack that just weren't allowed to overtake. So I'm not sure what happened there, but that's definitely going to make the restart a bit more spicy.
Yeah, it is indeed. I think these guys won't be able to unlap themselves until the safety car comes in. So, sorry, not unlap themselves. They won't be able to make any moves until the blue flags are gone when the safety car comes in. So we'll fully expect to see VSC Paul and Hell dart out the way as soon as the safety car heads in, as well as all the other cars that will have blue flags on this restart. So I think that's one of the unfortunate things of being one of the drivers near the middle or back of the pack is if you get caught in the safety car and get caught in the field, it is an unfortunate situation to be in, as looks like the safety car will be in this lap. John, I'm still going to leave it with you to kick us off with this restart, as I'll leave it with you who you want to jump on board with and what you want to spectate on this restart.
We'll just watch the front. I believe you're not allowed to weave on when the safety cars come in, if I'm correct. I might not know the rules there, though.
No, I think you would be correct there, John, but we'll leave that for the stewards.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. He's had a great race, so, you know. But yeah, underway now. So, expected start. Slippergoons just had to wait a little bit just because of the blue flags. He's already lost 1.5 seconds. We're seeing some moves being made. Kungbus, I think, overtook before. Yeah, he did. Overtook before the line. Yeah, because of the lapped cars, there's already a huge gap. He's going to be going around the outside. There's a bit of contact. I think he's kept his wing there, but he doesn't get the position. He's going to be going for it again, though. Kruz with his battery off, and yeah, he gets the position done. Very nice move from him on those old hards. But yeah, such a big gap at the front already. Yeah, restarts like this just raises the question on if the rule should be brought back that backmarkers have to box. Because, yeah, it's just... I don't think it's very fair for there to be a couple second gaps already at the front. It just raises the question on if stuff needs to be looked into there. Yeah, coming up into P6. He's showing some great pace. He's already on the back of Jacuti. His Slippergoon's already made his way into overtake mode. Pixel's going quite slow. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, it looks like Slippergoon won't have any ERS to fight the Pixel into turn number 1. Looks like Bobby got a move done on the V-carb, who died into the pits. Both of the V-carbs will actually head into the pits after the safety car, which is really bizarre. Yeah, good position for Bobby to make up on this occasion. Yeah, let's see if Slippergoon can make any moves on the Pixel on this occasion. Looks like he will not have the pace to get back into the overtake at this current point in time. Jacuti seems to be someone who lost a few positions off that restart. Again, he was fighting both Cadillacs into position 2, but unfortunately he will not be able to fight that position. Looks like Hot Cheetos is getting a lot of pressure on the back of the Cadillac. Actually, I think the Cadillac lost the position there to Hot Cheetos. So, unfortunate to see that the Cadillac has lost that position there. Of course, it still has that front wing damage from very early on in the race. So, yeah, hopefully he can deal with both of his end plates are gone. The Cadillac is looking like an airplane version of the car right now without those wings on the side. Very, very slimline, very straight mode-esque. A lot less downforce and a lot more drag. So, see if he can get to the end of the race while holding his position with that wing. I think that'd be very, very difficult for someone to execute. So, 30 laps to go. A lot of racing time to make up. Yeah, I think he probably should have replaced his nose when the safety car was out.
Yeah, who knows though, he might have... I think he got it from probably one of the back markers, that would be my assumption. Just, it did look very, very hectic, so I think... Yeah, straight confirms it, yeah, he did. It looks to be struggling.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff there. Rooms looks like he also got another penalty on top. There's a lot of pens being handed out and a few drivers are getting more than others. Slippergoon 19 seconds, Peacat 22 seconds. Of course, Vroom's on 16 and Ian Mack on 16. We've only just hit over the halfway point of the race, so unfortunate to see. It looks like Vrooms is going to let some of his peers pass there, as he will get blue flags, but will fight the Audi for the position. Audi ends up looks to have gotten ahead on this occasion, but they seem to be on side by side actually. See how they go into turn 1, if they can be able to negotiate that. Looks like Milano disappeared on my screen, and now he's back, and he's taken the position ahead of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, just something that's quite interesting about this, like how everything is with the gaps and the lapped cars, is both of the V-cubs had damage, both of them boxed and fixed it, double stacked, and they're still coming out in huge gaps in P11 and P12. So really not as bad as it could have been for them.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but we also did see the Williams of VSC Paul and Hell get a 10-second penalty again for, sorry, not again, but I got another 10-second penalty for blue flags. I think the first occasion was PCAT this time. It is VSC Paul and Hell, unfortunately, and that will be his first set of penalties, and that'll just be for that blue flag infringement. Looks like we had a car go off onto the gravel trap here. Rooster Cart did also have an off into turn 1 earlier in the race. So, yeah, good to see him back on track and keeping it majority onto the in between the white lines. Of course, had that off there. I think he is going to have to cede the position to Kung Bus, and we'll get blue flags from Kung Bus being behind him. So we'll need to jump out of the way and give that position up in a few moments' time. Looks like Conrad is going to be over the back of Jacuti, the Williams man. Let's see if he can do something on this occasion. Of course, we saw Conrad make some moves earlier in the race, as he does lap the other Williams in VSC Paul and Hell in his effort to chase down the Williams in Jacuti G. 10-second penalty for ignoring blue flags for Rooster Cart as well. A lot of these guys are just copping pens left, right and centre at this stage of the race. Of course, we all know that the field got bunched up due to the safety car, but I don't think a lot of these guys are familiar to the safety car procedure and what we expect to see when the safety car does eventually head into the pits, and that's for all the blue flag runners to jump out of the way of all the cars that are on the lap, on the racing lap. But yeah, of course, looks like that memo was lost in translation. Looks like Conrad is dropping off a little bit this occasion. Won't look like he'll be able to make a move into turn 1 here, as we're going to be starting lap 40 soon. There seems to be yellow flags. I think that's the Pixel. It looks like he was fighting the Cadillac for position number 1. Of course, Mepixel can just sit behind Slippergoon because he has 19 seconds of pens, but he looks like he was going to try and take the position on track. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on this battle here, John, and see if Mepixel can get it done on track.
Yep, similar battery levels for both of them. Just have a look at the pens. So yeah, Slippergoon much more pens. Yeah, just having, I think it was issues at, I think he got a 10-second for speeding or something, I don't remember. Or maybe hitting a lapped car. So, yeah, overtake mode for Pixel, he'll be closing in. Slippergoon no battery, we'll see the straight line speed difference that makes. But yeah, on the mediums, should still be a quicker tyre.
Yeah, it's a great shout. I'll actually just quickly head over to the tyre compounds that all the drivers are on. Looks like the only medium runners are Slippergoon, Bobby, Ian Mack, and Trackster. The rest of the field are on the harder compound tyre at this stage of the race, as they look to be fighting quite aggressively between each other for the lead of the race. Slippergoon will look to hold this position as much as possible on this occasion, and yeah, the Green Machine of Me Pixel, who's been the new inductee into this division, as he was someone that was brought in to replace Creeper, who was someone that was very, very competitive in this field and is now driving in Div 2. And Mipixel has just taken the mantle and taken the flag and has taken the lead of the race back from Slippergoon. But Slippergoon is going to try and take that position back. They come over the crest, peek over the hill, but looks like Slippergoon will be second best on this occasion. Will he be able to get the move done into turn 1? Looks like they're both going to have the similar amount of speed out of that corner. Traxter retired from the race. Did he pit and quit? Looks like
pits,
he did.
Yep.
I thought maybe that was going to be an incident that we had to be aware of, but not on this occasion. The Pixel takes the lead of the race and continues to hold it into turn number 1 and looks to take on Aston Martin back to glory potentially from previous seasons of Rush Racing, and is putting in a fantastic performance here tonight. So still with give or take about 21, 22 laps of racing to go, and has taken the lead of the race away from Slippergoon. Let's head over to battlefield position number 5. Conrad still all over the back of Jacuti, and Uncle Morty has been roped into this battle for good measure as well. So hopefully we can see some fantastic battles between these three guys, and Kungbus might get into the mix as well. But I think someone, if this battle does continue to go on, that hasn't got any pens is Bobby. So this could be important for overalls as well, as Ferrari are the direct competitors of the Williams team right now. And of course, Coops on Sticks has DNF. So all hopes on gaining a lot more points in this race do fall on the shoulders of Bobby. So hopefully he can get the job done and make some moves heading into the final few laps of this race. Conrad had a lot of pace going into that corner, almost drove to the back of Jacuti, but managed to keep it onto in between the white lines on this occasion. Let's see if we can have a move to be completed on this occasion, as looks like all drivers are going to be recharging their battery into turn 1. Oh my god! Uncle Morty, you need to be a little bit more careful than that, cuz that was a little bit ambitious and you lost some of your front wing for good measure on that. That was almost just a lack of concentration, and honestly I don't blame him. For 100% Imola, it's a tough race to do.
Yeah, it's not what he'd want. He'll have to fix that. He's losing a lot of time. I think he'll come out P10 after he's boxed. So yeah, that's unfortunate. It looked very quick. Just had a brain fade. Stuff like that happens in such a long race. So yeah, you can't blame him for that. But yeah, it's a shame. He looked quick.
Yeah, look, the race isn't over, and we can see that some of the other drivers are still driving with some front wing damage. So his race isn't over. There still could be another safety car heading into the remaining few laps of this race. I just saw a comment that someone has put forward. Who is the championship leader and the top 3 in the driver's standing? That's a great question Nixon plays, and I'll tell you what, cuz if you jump over to the rushracing.com website, you will see all of the standings there for your viewing pleasure, but I'm more than happy to reiterate them here over the comms box. Right now, the driver who actually isn't in attendance tonight, Hogo Pogo, does seem to be topping the standings at the moment with 80 points. In position number 2, and it will be Harmdon, who also isn't in this division anymore. He's actually been moved up into Division 2, and he's on 72 at the moment. And in position number 3, Mr. Consistent, the man who actually just lost his front wing, was Uncle Morty. So we'll see how this goes, if he can continue getting those point scoring tallies and be Mr. Consistent and keep plugging away at those points. So great question, Nixon. Thank you very much for that. We'll see how this race is starting to even out. Jacuti's still under pressure from Conrad and still trying to defend that position. Conrad, I would, as much as it's on a Williams driver, I want him to see him get a little bit more racy. He's starting to hit that point of the race where he's kind of being a little bit passive, sitting behind other drivers. Let's see a little bit of quality. See a little bit of class. Can you make some moves and push some of these drivers around you to even make some mistakes?
Yeah, he's had a battery advantage for quite a while, so I think he's just waiting for the right moment. He's on much newer tyre. Well, not much, but 6 laps to the boys ahead. So yeah, I think that'll come into play soon enough. Still not seeing any rain clouds or anything. Looks like it'll be late on if it does come.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those last minute blasts to the pit lane, as there's gonna be a lot of rain. I reckon that might come near the end of the race. Jakuti's all over the back of the Cadillac as well, who we mentioned has both of his end plates missing. So Slippergoon again getting another penalty there, unfortunately. So unfortunate to see him start to really drop off, maybe from the pixel as well. About a 5-second gap from the leader there. So yeah, we'll see how this race all shakes out. Jacuti will be under pressure again, I think. No, it looks like not on this occasion. Conrad was probably a little bit too far back. So yeah, I think we're starting to see the race start to calm down a bit. As we said, we fully expect rain near the end of the race that will spice it up a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We'll be still here commentating, discussing the race. And we'll see how these drivers will react to the rain that will eventually fall into the racetrack. Do you think it will get wet enough to have to go into the Interzem, John? What are you thinking at the moment?
I think so. I think if it's at least 5 laps or so of like hard rain, I think definitely. Just it's such a like track with just so many fast corners that you're just gonna lose too much. As long as the pit lane is, it's just you're just gonna lose a lot of positions. So I think if it's full inters conditions for at least 3 laps, I think it will be box.
All right.
It's just P4 to P6 are the only drivers that are within overtake mode. Looks like Jakuti's getting a bit racy. Doesn't seem to have too much straight line speed, but he's closing in. He'll be looking to get the move done probably next lap. Yeah, Conrad's still just sitting back, just waiting his turn, maybe waiting for a mistake. He knows he has no penalties. Oh, Ruth does. How much? He has 3 seconds. Even P2 of Slippergoon has 22 seconds, so it's just got to make sure that you keep it clean. Yeah, you'll get a free position at the end because of that.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of shifting around when we get to the end of the race, as there's a lot of penalties that will need to be served. Yellow flags into Sector 2 here. Is that due to maybe a V-carb that might have gone off track on this occasion? I think that might have been Romeo and Kenobi on this time, but looks to keep his front wing intact. Can't say the same for some of the other guys. Looks like Conrad finally got the move done onto Jacuti.
Oh, was it the contact?
Wide. Gets a bit loose at the back end there for Jacuti. Can he maybe fight this position back and potentially get it back from Conrad? These are probably 2 of the 3 only drivers that don't have penalties at this stage of the race, which is an achievement in itself. We saw a lot of drivers, even in Div 1, couple a lot of penalties. So fantastic for both of these guys, all 3, Bobby included, to keep it in between the white lines for the vast majority of the race. But,
Conrad whacks Ruth into turn 1. No idea how he's kept his front wing there. He's smoked him. Yeah, he looked like he was really close, but he went off the track on the final corner, so he lost a lot of time. He'll be going for it again. Ruth, they've got equal battery now, but Conrad being on the outside should get a better exit, and I think he'll take the place here with his overtake mode. So yeah, he's finally got that done.
Beautiful. Well done from Conrad. Good to see him finally start to get a little bit racy. That might have been a track limit as well. Seemed to go all 4 tyres outside the white line. So maybe a 3 seconds could be coming soon for Conrad. But Jacuti will need to get a move on and get past our Ruthless guy if he wants to keep in the battle between himself and Conrad for position number 4. And I want to see this move done on this lap and on this start finish straight if he wants to keep fighting his position. So important move for Jacuti. Important time as Conrad did get the move done onto the Cadillac. We'll see if the Williams can do the exact same thing on this time around. Doesn't look like he's going to be gaining any sort of close enough to be able to fight for a position this time, so we'll have to just stick behind, unfortunately. So yeah, frustrating to see, if I'm going to be honest, to see the Williams stuck behind the Cadillac, but we'll see if Jacuti can get the move done again. This Cadillac has both of his front end plates missing. He's going to go for the move on the inside here and going to force the Cadillac a little bit wide, but not going to be able to get his nose far enough alongside.
So yeah, Conrad on his newer tyres, he's already started building a gap. Yeah, it was very close there. He just got a bit of the curb, and it's just so slippery on inside. You just can't hold it if you go onto it. But I think it was pretty clean. I did have a look though. Conrad is on 2 warnings, so if Jacuti can keep it clean and Conrad gets a penalty, then it could switch up near the end of the race.
Yeah, I would say the key difference here, and I would agree with you here, M-John, is that Jacuti is still behind the Cadillac. So if Jacuti can get past the Cadillac in his next lap or two, then I would say, yep, no worries, game on. Let's put some pressure on the McLaren, but we're still struggling behind the Cadillac at the moment, not able to get the overtake done. So I think this might be a byproduct of the setup situation. Maybe running too much higher wings at the moment that could potentially be hurting Jacuti's race. As we want to have a look at gap to leader, I think we're starting to have a bit of a situation start to develop. We're going to see potentially some rain start to fall down. I think this is the time at which we got the rain in our race last night, or in my race, sorry, I should say. I do see a little the track starting to get a bit darker, a little bit grayer, to say the least. So we might see the heavens start to open up here, M-John.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. Ruthless seems to have lost overtake. We'll see if he can get back into it, but that would be crucial if he loses it. So yeah, I think Jacuti is showing more pace, but he's just stuck in traffic, unfortunately.
Yeah, needs to get a move on. Let's see if we can assess some other people's race. Pixel seems to be heading the field at the moment with almost that 10-second gap that he had before the pit stops, and he's pretty much gained that back with 13 laps to go. So will more than likely be the race winner, barring any shenanigans that happen under the wet conditions that seem to be coming in quite soon. Slippergoon does hold on to position number 2 as it stands, but will more than likely lose that position due to penalties. And to be honest, I think a beneficiary might be Conrad. So he might get himself onto the podium with some of these penalties that look to be coming the McLaren's way, as Hot Cheetos is in position 3 at the moment, putting up a good showing, but does have 6 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. So anything can happen in the remaining few laps of this race. 13 to go. We've got to the business end here. This is where you really need to show your class, your quality, your ability as a driver as we come to the closing stages. This is where you put it all on the line and you try to make those moves that you couldn't potentially before. And I do want to stress that I do want to see Jacuti G start to pull out those elbows and start to get a bit racy with some of these guys ahead of him. So Uncle Morty, again, Mr. Consistent in position number 7 as it stands. Kung Bus also in and amongst the top 10 positions. Good to see him in this race doing very, very well and very competitive. As Bobby was the one of the 3 drivers that didn't have that 3 seconds, unfortunately drops out of that exclusive field and will give himself a 3 seconds time penalty for himself. Again, the only Ferrari that is running tonight at the moment, as Coupon Sticks did DNF, unfortunately. And then the last car to round out the top 10 is PCAT, but of course, I think he will more than likely be losing that position, as he does have, 25 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, so just something I noticed is Uncle Morty did stay out. But just, what do you reckon you would do if the rain hits? Do you think you would switch the front wing?
I think you'd have to, especially if it's raining enough to the point where you're going to be changing your tires. You have to change that front wing. As much as it's an extra 5 seconds that is going to be tacked on to your pit time, I think that 5 seconds would be gained back if you're thinking that the Inters are going to be a more competitive tire. So I know for a fact for me, last night, I pitted, and I want to say Durr and Noah were about 30 seconds ahead of me, and I gained that back within four or five laps because it was just that wet. So we'll see if Uncle Morty and, of course, our Ruthless guy are going to be changing over their front wings. I'm super surprised he's been able to hold this P5 position even with this front wing. So he's done a phenomenal job. Thanks for pointing that out, SJ. I do agree. He's absolutely done a fantastic job with this. I think it's not easy to drive on this track as it is, and to do with two end plates missing, as he does get a little bit loose in the back end.
I'm on board with him. I'm seeing some rain here, Chaos. Very light, but it has started.
You are spot on there. Thanks very much for pointing that out. And John, lap 52. Are we going to see it start to pelt down and change? I will admit, last night, it just, the conditions just switched like very, very quickly. So I think the person that I'm looking at here is Slippergoon. Is he going to make the risk to pit? He is. He's going to duck into the pits and change over to the green wall tires. Is he going to start a flow-on effect? Hot Cheetos stays out to continue going for another lap. Will Conrod decide to head in? No, he will stay out, but our Ruthless guy will head into the pits. Jakudi G is staying out. Uncle Morty, is he going to head in? Is he going to look to change over? No. Kungbus, what's the thoughts here, John? Is he going to change over to the green tires?
I think I'd be happy with him staying out one more, but it's whatever he wants. Yeah,
he's going in.
He'll come in.
Yeah, we're starting to see it start to get wet conditions. Is the same as last night. The conditions just change at the flick of a switch, and all these guys are going to start to head into the pits and change over to the green tires, the intermediates, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to make the positions back at the latter stages of the race. So I think this might start a flow-on effect for the rest of the field. But we're going to watch these gaps very closely here, Amjon. I'm looking at the gap between Slippergoon and Uncle Morty. I think is a very good gap to have a look at and see if Uncle Morty is going to start to lose a little bit of time to Slippergoon. If we've reached that crossover point, doesn't look like it's that egregious as of yet. It is just a light splatter at the moment if I go on board with Slippergoon, but they might have some information that's going to start bucketing down in a few moments' time.
Yeah, everyone's having issues. I've just seen Jakudi have slides in Gear 5, so it's definitely borderline, but it's just who can keep it under control. As Pixel has stayed out, I feel like that's quite the risk to take if you're leading by that far and you see cars coming in. So that's interesting. Hot Cheetos is out as well. He's just sliding everywhere. Conrod's in, Jakudi is in now, I believe. Yep. So yeah, everyone's coming in now. So is it a bit too risky from Hot Cheetos to stay out? We'll be intrigued to see the gap between Conrod and him.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one, as Slippergoon will be the man we're keeping our eyes on, as he will take position number 3, but we're going to watch the gap, and I think that gap is going to dwindle really, really quickly if these guys decide to stay on these tires. Uncle Morty has decided to pit. Has he gone into slicks again? No, he's gone into slicks again.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Alpine. I think Uncle Morty's done fantastically well tonight as well, and you don't want to see that. That's unfortunate to see, but that'll more than likely be Uncle Morty's race over and done with. Will probably be finishing near the back end of the grid, but VSC Paul and Hell looks to make some few moves on this tyre, make some moves just before the pit lane, so fantastic to see him get a little bit of moves up on some of his compatriots there, as it looks like the Ferrari was trying to get the move back onto the lapped car of Paul and Hell. Looks like Hot Cheetos and Mipixel have decided to head into the pits and change over to those green wall tyres. As we mentioned, will Hot Cheetos lose position to Slippergoon? I think even if he does, the penalties that Slippergoon has will be too much for him to come back from. So we'll have a quick gaze and glance at those penalties. Slippergoon has actually served a few of his...
he served his 10, yep.
Yeah, okay. This could maybe change the complexion of this race a little bit. So Hot Cheetos will more than likely have to get the move done on track. And looks like he has come out ahead of Slippergoon on this occasion. So, yeah, it's just started to rain really heavily. This happened last night as well, where it just started to bucket down. So, doesn't look like it's changed the order too much. I will admit some guys have been a beneficiary of having to serve their pens in the pit, which Slippergoon did have to do. Looks like there is yellows for Conrod, I think, maybe, who had a bit of an off, or Jacuti G, and looks like our Ruthless guy had changed his nose as well, so he's got a fresh wing to compete with the rest of the field now and see how he will go up against the field now that he has a working front wing. Of course, we see Uncle Morty head back into the pits to change over to those intermediates. Heartbreaking to see him lose some positions here for that unfortunate pit lane error. It's unfortunate to see it does happen. We are human at the end of the day, and it's a very long race to do here at Imola, so it's a very easy mistake to do. So unfortunate to see that Alpine outfit have to feel the pain of that one. Oh my word, that was almost an off from our Ruthless guy. Almost went straight to the back of Jacuti and then into the wall on the left-hand side for good measure, but he managed to keep it onto the track. These conditions are not easy to race on, especially on a very technical, difficult track like Imola.
Yeah, and another factor could be setups. I'm not sure how much would change, but yeah, people running on lower wings could be having a tough time out there. As Kungbus gets another penalty there. I was on board while he did that, but that's no big deal. He's got some big gaps, so yeah, good from him. Good drive so far.
Yeah, I think I'm just hoping Piercat can maybe get out of a little bit more of a gap there from Uncle Morty to try and hold on to that P10 position, but I think he will lose that. But he might only lose P10 at the moment with the penalties that he's got. So again, I do want to give a massive shout out to Midpixel. 18 seconds from position number 2, has absolutely dominated the field tonight. He's put in a masterclass performance and has showed a lot of quality and ability in this race. 100% is not easy on this track, and to be consistent enough to be so far ahead of the field is a testament to your ability here, Midpixel. So I hope you can see out the rest of the remaining few laps and take the plaudits for a great race tonight.
Yeah, he's just been flawless. Hasn't looked under pressure at all. But Slippergoon with another 3 second there. I believe if it finishes as it is now, he'll be P6, which would be disappointing. But we'll see what pace he has if he can try to pull out a bit of a gap.
Looks like there's some jostling for position here for P14. VSC Pull and Hell does look to come out second best, as there looks to be a slow Haas onto the start-finish, but looks like they've navigated that. Maybe could have been the battle between Conrod, Jacuti, and our Ruthless guy. These guys have been very close to each other for a vast majority of the race. Maybe our Ruthless guy was going to go for a move onto the Williams. Man does open up that inside lane for the Cadillac to maybe have a sniff down the inside, but instead rams him out the gearbox for good measure out of that corner. So maybe didn't think that Jacuti was going to leave him room. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, maybe just, when the track changes conditions, it can take a bit to get used to it. So maybe he just wasn't expecting Jacuti to be that late on throttle, or maybe made a mistake or something. But it doesn't look like he was affected.
Yeah, it looks like he luckily has his wing intact on this occasion. Unfortunately, did have some some issues beforehand. I think we can say he's probably used to not having a front wing for the vast majority of this race. So even if he does lose some end plates, I think he should be fine. But might feel the pain in the wet weather conditions more than when it was dry. So hopefully he can keep that front wing intact and maybe even attempt to make the move on the Williams man going into the last final few laps of this race. Yeah, we're starting to get to the closing stages here, M. John. I will just say a massive thank you for doing this with me last minute. I know this was not something that was probably in your books for tonight, but yeah, it's not easy doing 100%, and especially with me just talking your ear off. So appreciate you sticking it out with me and seeing it to the end. So appreciate it, M. John.
Yeah, no worries.
And yeah, of course, it's been a very interesting race. A lot of complex moments with the pit strategies and, of course, that rain hitting at the end. We'll see how it all shakes out. We've still got 5 laps to go, and we'll see how these guys will navigate positions 4, 5, and 6. I think this is really the battle that we're going to keep our eye on. Looks like also maybe Cruz could be on the back of Bobby to potentially get that position for P8 away from them. They're not close enough to make a dent in Kungbus, so looks like he will secure position number 7, and it doesn't look like Kungbus is close enough to spoil the party for position number 4, as we do have yellows into turn 1. Are those Astons fighting? I thought I saw maybe both the Astons fighting, maybe, but looks like they've all sorted it out. Maybe someone had an off there. So hopefully, looks like maybe Vrooms was getting out of the way of the lap car of Aston. That's probably not a good feeling to see your teammate lapping you in this race. It's a bit of Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo type feeling at Monaco. It's not the greatest feeling that you want to see.
Yeah, well, I think quite a few people have that feeling. So yeah, Vrooms is not alone with that. Yeah, Pixel's just been really just flawless. He's just been on it. It's been top 3 probably the whole race. I don't think he qualified pole. I think he took the lead into turn 1. He's just been really good.
Yeah, you're correct. It was Jakuti G that was on pole, and then he took the lead of the race from turn 1, and he hasn't looked back since. So, very dominant performance, very difficult track to execute, and yeah, great performance from a Pixel. That gap has kind of dwindled a little bit though in the rain. Hot Cheetos has probably gained, I want to say, a good 2 seconds off of Mipixel in this stage of the race. So, look, I highly doubt that Hot Cheetos will be able to build the gap enough to be able to catch Mipixel, let alone pass him then, with 3 laps to go. But maybe something just to keep an eye out on. Our Ruthless guy, still over the back of this Williams. Jakuti has had a lot going on this race. Had some pressure moments where maybe he maybe not so used to having a lot of pressure from a lot of these guys around him. There's still some fast drivers that are in this division that have been, you know, fighting tooth and nail for each position, as Cruz VB77 will take position number 8 from the Ferrari man of Bobby, and will look to secure that position for the V-Carb team. So great move by him. Looks like
Root's going to go for it here, it looks like.
Ruthless.
Side to side, he should back out. It's dangerous.
Ooh.
No contact. He gets through, but he's off the track on the exit there. But I'm not sure what the rules are for that. So yeah, great move. Could have been much more dangerous, but yeah, it's good. And yeah, good racing from both of them.
Yeah, I think that seemed to be within the white lines from what I saw, but you know, maybe onboards could paint a different picture. But still a fantastic drive from our Ruthless. Again, he had the wing damage very early on, and he's held onto that position against Jakuti G, and actually has taken that position back on track. He will need to build a bit of a gap to Jakuti to hold that position, because he does have that 3 seconds time penalty that he has obtained throughout the race. And I think he might even also be on his last warning, if I do remember correctly, John. I think maybe you gave us that information earlier on, but I could be incorrect. So this race isn't over for our Ruthless guy. Still needs to do his best to build that gap and get a 3 seconds lead to Jacuti to hold on to that position. Vrooms is fighting VSC Paul and Hell for position number 15 and will get it done for good measure. So great race from Vrooms. A great race from everyone to stick it out. It's not easy, especially when you've had some situations go against you. So good to see all these 17 guys that are still racing, looking just to finish off the race and gain some points for their team. So everyone that will finish this race tonight will be gaining points for their team. Of course, those points will fluctuate depending on your position. Of course, the first place will get the main porters. They'll get 30 points for tonight's race. So a lot of points to be gained. Looks like our Ruthless guy also made the move onto Conrad into the right-hander here in the downhill section. So our Ruthless guy getting quite racy in these final
showing
few stages.
A lot of pace. I think he could build a gap to Jacuti here if he can. Like he's really quick. He's showing incredible pace. Maybe he's on higher wings than others, but yeah, I definitely see him building a 3 second gap here to Jacuti. And yeah, he's got 2 laps to see what he can do against Conrad, but I think that's a bit more of a bigger ask.
Yeah, I think that he's only got... Does he have 2 laps? He does have 2 laps to try to build that gap, our Ruthless guy. Let's see if he can get it done. If I'm in his ear, I'm telling him, just don't worry about Jacuti. Just drive forward, put those lap times down, and do your best to get out of this 3 seconds penalty. So, but you don't want to gain yourself a 3 seconds by doing that, as he had a massive snap going into turn number 3 there. He's really pushing in this car and absolutely pulling the horns off this thing. So he can definitely build a gap here. I think Conrad and Jacuti really gotta check their pockets, because they kind of did get pickpocketed a little bit there during the last few stages of this race. So yeah, they've really got to put these lap times down just to keep within touching distance of our Ruthless guy. But let's have a look back and check in with our P1 sitter at the moment, the Pixel. Again, that gap is closing from Hot Cheetos. Again, Hot Cheetos is a reserve, so he's just introduced himself into the field in a very strong way and put forward a fantastic race. As I think that might be an off for a Ferrari, but looks to keep it back on track, and Roostercart will be behind that Ferrari. So let's hope that they can play nice between each other, as they're going to be lapped. Well, they've already been lapped between each other, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know why you want the gap for SJ. It's nearing the end of the race, so unless you're just trying to rub it in and just like get some more information, like there's no need to know the gap. So there's not going to be any safety cars from this point on. Yeah, we'll see how the final few laps go. We're on the final lap of the race. Mepixel will be coming through the final few corners to take the checkered flag, and will more than likely be standing on the top step of the podium when it's all said and done. And John, what are your thoughts on his race tonight?
Yeah, this is easily the best driver out there tonight. Just it fell off a bit in the inters. Maybe it's just a setup thing, but yeah, well and truly controlled. And yeah, his pace in the dries helped him get this win. But yeah, out final corner now.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic drive from Pixel, and he will go through the final corner, go through the start-finish line for the final time, and will win the race here in Imola, and will be your Division 4 winner here for this round tonight. Hot Cheetos 4457 will cross the finish line in position number 2. Fantastic drive, and again will be a great showing for the TPs to be in his DMs for races to come. Slippergoon again did serve that penalty in the pit, so will more than likely hold on to position number 3 and will round out our podium places. And a fantastic drive from our Ruthless guy, who will actually take that podium place position away from his teammates and will get position number 3. Slippergoon will fall to P6. You did call it there, John, as Conrad and Jacuti will take position 5 and 6. Kungbus will come through to finish in position number 7. Fantastic drive from the Red Bull driver. Cruise VB77 will also be coming around the final corner to finish here in position 8. So great drive from the V carb as well. Bobby will be coming around the final few corners as well to finish in position number 9. And I'm interested to see if Piercat will lose a few positions in the with penalties to come and to serve, or if he will hold on to position 10.
I think he will hold it because Uncle Morty had a 9 seconds, so I think he should just have it.
Let's see where he ends up. He crosses the start finish. Looks like he did hold on to that P10. So great points from the Red Bull guys. I think you're pretty chuffed at that. What do you reckon, John?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not too bad. I think just what I expected, to be honest. Some midfield, and yeah, P7 and P10. It's very good.
Yeah, and here's your race winner here, Mipixel, who will stand on the top step of the podium. Again, very dominant drive from Mipixel. Yeah, just didn't look like he was putting a foot wrong that entire race along, and will close out the race tonight and close out our round 5 race here at Imola with a fantastic win for the Aston Martin outfit. And of course, he will take fastest lap for good measure. Driver of the day, Kungbus, as well as most overtakes for Kungbus, and Jacuti G will be cleanest driver. So fantastic work. I bet you're chuffed with that, John, with Kungbus taking the driver of the day point as well. Here is your standings as it stands. We already went through them, so here they are for your viewing pleasure. Of course, Mipixel, Hot Cheetos, and our Ruthless Guy will be in your podium places. And of course, this is the bottom half of the table. Uncle Morty in 11th, Romy 1 Kenobi in 12th, Rooster Cart 13th, Milano 14th, Rooms in 15th, Paul and Hell 16th, and Max 17th, Trackstar 18th, Mars 19th, and Coupon Sticks 20th, as those bottom 3 drivers did not finish the race and will not be getting points for this round. All right, that is the Imola race completed. That was a fantastic race to see involved, and we'll get all the drivers in the comms box to come and have a chat with us to discuss their race. We will need to get, of course, Kungbus and sorry, I'm forgetting who the third driver is. I think it was Hot Cheetos. So we'll need to just get them in, and I will see if I can tag them. Hot Cheetos and Kungbus. Combox. All right. Yeah. What was your review of that race tonight, John? Any sort of surprises or standouts that you wanna mention?
I think just Jive and Pixel, just they're dominant really, and I think in a race with different conditions, it can be quite difficult to just maintain that pace. But yeah, very good from him.
Yeah, it was a very experienced drive from the Pixel, and I think we have everybody into the comms box. So we will start our interviews with the driver of the day, Kungbus. Fantastic drive from you, mate. I think you started a little bit further down the grid than you wanted to, but P7's a fantastic result. How's the race for you tonight, mate?
Yo, yeah, look, qualifying, batteries were flat in the controller, so I had to run next door and grab some from my boss and got back, and unfortunately it was wet. So not a good start to start off the race weekend. But yeah, look, got a pretty good start off the first lap, stayed out of trouble and just slowly made my way through the pack really. And yeah, I think that's all I could get out of the car, maximise my race pace. But yeah, the guys at the front were just well at another league. So yeah, but no, it was good. It was fun out there. I quite enjoyed it actually for 100%er at Imola.
Love to hear it, and we might have to have a chat with your TP John about getting some more customized front wings on the front of that car to get more pace for you for the remaining few rounds. I think the rain did come a little bit later, and it did throw a spanner in the works. Did you know that you were pitting onto the intermediates around lap 53? Was that always the plan? Did you know that it was coming in then, or did you kind of just play it by ear, felt the tyres start to go, and like, all right, it's time to change over to those boots?
Yeah, well, the hards did feel quite good, and I did hear there was some rain coming in between, like the last 10, 15 minutes of the race, or the last 10 laps. And from watching Div 3 last night, as soon as the rain comes down, you pit. Otherwise, you just get caught out, and you just lose way too much time if you try to stick it out for an extra lap on the hard. So yeah, as soon as I seen the rain on my screen, I was boxing. So, but yeah, no, I actually, yeah, it was cool that the rain came. It switched it up, made it a bit more interesting. But yeah.
Beautiful. Great to hear that you enjoyed the race tonight. I'll leave you with one final question before I hand it over to your TP. Any thanks or any shout outs you want to give before I take you over to M John to ask a few questions?
Yeah, I just want to shout out Tat, my teammate. He's put in the work. He's had an unfortunate start to the season, but he's got his first points for the team. So we'll be celebrating with a few shots of fireball, I think, for the young fella.
Yeah, I think let's not start him too young, all right? But that's it's a good celebration. Well, congratulations on driver of the day, and I'll hand you over to M John if you got any questions for you.
Cheers, Cass.
Yeah, Kung. Just got the result I knew you could do. To be honest, I've done a lot of work with you, and yeah, I know you're a quick driver, so I'm very happy. Just how did you feel after not being able to get a good quali lap in? Like, was it on purpose? Was it the plan? Were you trying to get driver of the day?
No, it definitely wasn't the plan. No, I would have liked to gave myself the best chance starting as far up the front as I could have. But yeah, just unfortunate. So I've put in my shopping list from when I go home over the weekend to buy some rechargeable battery pack rather than use batteries, so I don't have that problem again. But yeah, no, I think it's cool that I got it. Actually, driver of the day. I wasn't quite expecting it from so far back, but yeah.
Yeah, great performance. Did you feel quite uncomfortable when the inters came, or did you find it was not too bad?
It was a bit of a struggle coming out. But yeah, once I guess you warm up, get them in the temperature. I mean, yeah. Nah, they didn't feel too bad at all, really. But yeah, it is always a bit of a difficult one. My thumbs being on controller were dying, so I was quite happy that it wasn't more laps on the inters, because I don't think I would have lasted much longer because I was a bit all over the place. But yeah, no, it was all right.
All right, that's all from me. Good result.
Cheers, TK.
Well done tonight, Kung, and thank you very much for jumping in the comms box. Let's head over to position number 3. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was taken by oh my god, a ruthless guy. I knew I could see a name, but I just for some reason had a bit of a moment and just had a bit of a spaz. But it's all right. We move on. A ruthless guy. You actually took the position away from your teammate. Any sort of choice words that happened between you and your teammate before you headed over into the comms box?
Not really. Like my teammate, I mean, we would have gotten a double podium if it wasn't for his pens, which he got a lot of them. But yeah, like we were sitting together in the VC, he and I and our team principal. So no, there was nothing like between us. It was just he even said that I deserve the podium more. But I don't know why he said that. Maybe because of my pace, like in the rain at least, or maybe because of his penalties. But it was all good. Like we were chill.
Love that to see, and you've put yourself in a fantastic position and in the front shopping window for all the TPs to see your pace here in Division 4. How'd you feel? First debut race to be doing 100% race. It's not easy, and to get a podium. So yeah, what's your thoughts and feelings after that race?
Yeah, this is probably like the third 100% race ever in my life on the F1 games, and I've been playing since 24. So like I don't really find good 100% leagues, but I think I finally found one. And as for the race, I was not expecting to end up in a podium. Like when the race started, I was, but after a few laps, like I had damage. I got damage from the back markers. I don't know what they were doing under the safety car. There were two of them ahead of me and my teammate, and that gave me some front wing damage on both end plates. My both end plates were gone. So, but then the safety car came. Wait, no. The safety car was before that. Okay, the rain came, which saved my race, I would say, because then I could repair the damage. And surprisingly, I was way faster in the rain than the guys behind. Like they were in front of me, the McLaren and the Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I'll let M John ask more questions about that front wing shenanigans. But yeah, it was still a fantastic drive from you. Before I hand you over to M John, did you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone before I pass you over?
Uh, mm, to the team principal who was engineering us, I guess, because that we had to double stack when the rain came, and my teammate was around 12.2 seconds ahead of me, and he had to serve a 10-second penalty. So, but we took the gamble, and or maybe it was calculated. He boxed, and I think I only lost like half a tenth or something. I just came there and see his car going. It was like the perfect double pit stop. So shout out to my team principal SJ
Yeah,
for this race. Like I'm not a full time driver, so yeah.
yeah. Well, based on that performance, cuz you could be potentially a full-time driver in the near future when silly season comes around. So keep up those performances and more importantly, be available to fill in for a drive. And I have full faith that you'll be able to fill a seat when silly season comes around. Fantastic drive tonight. I'll hand you over to M John if you got any questions or comments to give for you tonight.
Yeah, Aaron, great drive. Sure you're happy to get a podium. Yeah, penalties coming into play as we expected for 100% Imola. How did you feel when you got damaged? Just you didn't seem to be that slow, to be honest, for missing both end plates. How did it feel from your end?
Okay, so I lost the first end plate like really soon, and I was asking my engineer to like maybe I should repair or not. Like when there was a safety car, and if I had the box back then, I would have lost like 4 positions, but I would have had a full green front wing, which was like light green. But I was feeling the effects of the yellow front wing. And when it was both end plates gone, then I was really slow. I was losing time to everyone. And the McLaren of, I don't know, CON, it says on my overlay. But yeah, the McLaren was able to overtake me, but then I did a great job keeping the Williams behind me. I was like prime Checo and defending.
Yeah. Next thing, just when it went to inters, I thought you were one of the quickest out there. You seemed very switched on, like you adjusted very quickly. I think you made
Yeah,
a couple good moves. I'm not confusing you with your
it
teammate.
was me. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was me.
yeah,
It was
definitely.
me.
So some of your moves I think had me and your team principal with heart
Yeah,
in mouth. But yeah, how did you feel on the inters? You seemed like you had a lot of pace, and were you
yeah.
expecting to pull out the 3 second gap?
Yeah, I was running P6 on track, I think, at the time, and there was this Williams and McLaren ahead of me. The gap was around 3 seconds, I think, but like I gained so much time. I think I came near them in just one lap, and then I was stuck. I was like moaning in my VC. I was like, bro, I'm so much faster, but I can't overtake because I wasn't fast on the straights, like the main straight. So I couldn't overtake there, and I knew that I had to make a move in one of the chicanes, like turn 2, turn 1, on the smaller straights, and that's where I made the move. I made the move in the first chicane, and then in the downhill right-hander, I don't know what it's called, in the second sector.
Yeah, it's great race. Yeah, that's all I've got. But yeah, well done on the podium.
Yeah, right. Thank you, guys. It was a fun race, so that's what matters the most.
100%. I can't agree more. Thanks very much, Aru, and congratulations on your first race and being on the podium for your first race. So, big shoes to fill and big things to come for your remaining tenure here at Rush. We're going to head over to position number 2, Hot Cheetos, another debutant here at Rush. Has taken the position number 2, taking the silver medal here tonight. Usually some second place holders are a little bit disappointed to be in this position, but I think it's fair to say Pixel was a very tall order to overcome, and I think you were pushing quite hard on those wet tires, and you were taking a good chunk of time out of him. Did you end up running like a higher wing setup that maybe was beneficial in the wet conditions?
To be honest, I didn't even know the rain was coming until like lap I think it was like lap 20 around there. But honestly, I just like because the old setup that I had was very oversteery, so I just added a bunch of rear wing onto it, and it ended up being fast in the rain, I guess. So, yeah.
Good to see. Good to hear. Yeah, you were very very quick, and I think from what we saw in the race, you didn't really get yourself into too many issues. Did you kind of find that this track is something that maybe you're quite familiar to, especially for 100% racing? Your first go around is a tall order to overcome. So to get a podium and P2 for your first run is a fantastic effort. So how did you feel your first race went?
Uh honestly, I think it went pretty good. Qualifying, I wasn't too happy with it because I made a bunch of mistakes in my second lap, and then the third lap the rain came, so I couldn't really get a decent, a good lap in. But um, yeah, race went alright to be honest. I was kind of in no man's land for like a lot of the race because my tires were just dying. I had no pace, so and then yeah, and then we tried to go for the undercut, and then the safety car came out, so that kind of killed the idea, the plan, and then yeah. Yeah, and then a bunch of backmarkers got in the way and just started causing a bunch of carnage. So it lost a bunch of time as well to the podium. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point to bring up. I knew that there was some issues with some of the back markers getting in the way. Do you feel like they were intentionally trying to get in your way, or was it just like them not being aware that they had blue flags? What do you feel the situation was when you were trying to get through those back markers?
No, I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was just like I don't know. Some of them did take a bit to get out of the way, but I mean, I don't know. It's like it's whatever cuz the safety car restart was a bit annoying cuz they just caused a bunch of chaos.
Mm.
Just like damage everywhere and like hitting people and stuff. It was scary, I guess. I didn't want to break my wing, so yeah.
Yeah, very easy to do on this track, and is a tall order to overcome. Of course, we've seen Aru do it and got himself on the podium. But fantastic drive from you to get the P2. Before I pass you over to Mjon, any thanks or shout outs you wanna give out before I pass you over?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my engineer Levo. Honestly, he came up with all the whole strategy. There was no way I was gonna get through that without the strategy. So yeah, big thanks to him.
Big shout out to Levo. Thanks very much for jumping in the comms. Or I'll hand you over to Mjon see if he's got any questions for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cheeto's great result. You got to be happy with that. Yeah, just I didn't notice much from your race. It seemed relatively calm. Is that how it seemed to you?
Yeah. It wasn't too too crazy. I just got a bunch of silly warnings and penalties at the start. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you're definitely not alone on that one. There was a lot of pens. But yeah, how did you feel? So you mentioned that your wings could have helped you with the inters. So do you think you were quite quick? I think you were gaining quite a lot to Pixel. I think 6 seconds.
Yeah, when we swapped to Inters, my engineer told me that I was pretty fast, so I just kept pushing, and then I was kind of annoyed because I got a penalty right before I came into the box, to pit. So yeah, I was trying to push to like try catch up to him, but I knew I wasn't going to because I had 9 seconds. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's whatever. Probably wasn't gonna win anyway.
Yeah, well, great result in the end. I'm sure your TP will be happy with that. But yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well done tonight, Hot Cheetos. A great debutant as well. So fantastic to get on the podium. But we need to head over and start to have the discussion that we've been waiting for. Mapixel, I'll say first and foremost, what a drive, mate. Fantastic performance to be so far ahead of the field in a very, very tricky conditions and a tricky race. Um, really put yourself on the front foot here and potentially maybe even put yourself in the title challenge, dare I say, because it is so early in the season. But yeah, before we start having that discussion, well done tonight, mate. How was your race from your perspective?
Yeah, honestly, I could have done a bit more in qualifying. Messed up on my last lap on the slicks, and then yeah, it just started raining, which we were not expecting. So I wasn't able to get another lap in. Had to settle for P2. There was, I think it was turn one. I think 2 or 3 laps in, had a bit of contact with the Williams of Jackie. It was minor contact, but yeah, not very good. But yeah, other than that, it was just thank you to my race engineer with all the strategy, telling me gaps, consistently updating me, telling me when to pit for the rain. Yeah, huge congrats to Hot Cheetos, knocking like 10 seconds out of me on the wets, struggling a bit on that.
Yeah, Hot Cheetos was hot on your heels at the later stages and really keeping you honest there. So I'll quickly ask about the not so fantastic situation of that having that pressure of him closing the gap. Was that just due to a setup? Have you not done a lot of wet practice on this game? Did you feel that maybe your setup was holding you back a little bit? What was the situation there?
Yeah, I reckon because we based the setup around a dry race because we thought it was going to be dry.
Mhm.
Didn't think it was going to rain. No, like even the mark in game said there was not going to be any rain. So playing the setup around a dry race, then got the fight like 10-minute warning, and I was like, shit, gotta fix that. And yeah, after that we didn't do any wing adjustments or anything. We just left it as is, and I was just struggling, sliding around, a lot of lap traffic just in my way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this division because there is such a massive gap between the guys that practice and the guys that don't.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the difference really start to show its teeth in races like this, especially for 100%ers. But well done tonight. You deserved the win. You were hands down from what we saw the fastest man on track. So that's nothing to scoff at. I think you also got the fastest lap as well during the race. So that'll be another point on your points tally. That'll get you to 31. So well done tonight, mate. I'll hand you over to M John. Before I do, actually, did you have any other further shout outs or congratulations to anyone before I let you go?
I just wanted to point out the fastest lap. I was a bit happy that I was like the only person in the 28s and the 27s, or sorry, the 17s and 20 and 18s. So that was good to be able to secure that fastest lap points. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, well done. I'll hand you over to M John. Has got any questions for you? And yeah, well done. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, Pixel, great race. You just looked like you were in your own race today. It seems. Did it seem like a bit of time trial for you sometimes?
Yeah, a little bit. The safety car obviously was very frustrating. It did help that I was at the front of the pack and didn't have to worry any lap cars in front of me. I do feel for Slippergoon a little bit because he was behind me. He had two cars in the middle, and yeah, again, the lap cars today were just everywhere, impeding. It's just, yeah.
So how do you took the lead? You didn't qualify on pole, but you took the lead very early on. How was that? Were you happy with that?
Yeah, took the lead into turn one with I think, a good overtake around the outside of turn one. But yeah, that was about. I took the lead there and pretty much didn't look back.
Yeah, you certainly didn't. Just final thing. I know that during 100% races it can get quite like if you're just on your own, it can start to feel really like you can lose concentration. Did you find that you experienced that at all?
No, not really, because I was always like within 3 seconds of a car in front or a car behind. So I was constantly worrying about lap traffic because they were a bit in the way today, especially when the rain started coming down. I got a 3 second because a lap car decided to let me overtake through the middle of a chicane instead of after. So yeah, I've been
Yeah.
unfortunate with that penalty, but yeah, other than that, not really.
Yeah, alright, that's all from me. Really good race. Really well done.
Yeah, congratulations, Pixel for the win tonight. Fantastic performance, and that'll be all the interviews for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic racing that we saw tonight. Very mixed conditions as we saw. M John, any closing final thoughts or statements before we send it off tonight, M John?
No, not really. It's just a really good 100% race. Just got a bit of everything. Some nice moves. A bit of rain at the end to spice it up. So yeah, it's good, and I'm looking forward to Spa sprint weekend next week.
Yeah, great point there to bring up there, John. We will be heading to Spa Francorchamps next week. Fantastic track in the Ardennes forest, in the Belgian forest there, as we'll be racing there. It is a bit of a lifting coast Grand Prix, so just be prepared to get your thumbs ready to go to lift off that throttle about 200 meters before the braking zone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. My name has been Cass. I've been very much joined by the fantastic John R tonight. So thank you for sticking it out with me for the 100% race with, I think it was about 45 seconds before I hit go. So I appreciate that, John. Thank you very much for all sticking around for tonight. That has been the final race of Imola. We'll be kicking off the reserve race at Belgium on Thursday night, which will be in 2 days' time. So if you're looking to get involved in Rush Racing again, feel free to jump on Discord and sign up and get involved in the reserve race. It'll also be a sprint weekend, so be prepared to have those tyres ready to rock and roll in qualifying and races for 2 times. And we will see you in 2 days' time for reserve program at Belgium.